Just when you think the entire Arizona gubernatorial fiasco involving Kari Lake can't get any more embarrassing, Kari Lake yesterday was begging for money, desperate, claiming that she's going to fight on, despite the fact that a judge has dismissed her final challenge in her election loss for Arizona governor back in November. Now, understand that it has now been 7 months almost since she lost. And when I say she lost, it's always important to clarify. What I mean is her opponent, Katie Hobbs, received more votes. This is a PBS report from the Associated Press. Judge dismisses Kari Lake's last challenge in election loss for Arizona governor. A judge on Monday dismissed the only remaining legal claim in Republican Kari Lake's challenge of her loss last year to Katie Hobbs. Maricopa County Superior Judge Peter Thompson said Lake failed to prove her claim that Maricopa County did not verify signatures on mail ballots as required by law. This was the final challenge. So what does Kari Lake do yesterday? She holds another one of these delusional press conferences where she comes up with reams of paper and there's people standing behind her. We never know who the hell these people are or what role they have in any of this. And then she begs for money. She begs for money.
Here's one. Dear Kari, my humble $20 donation for your continued fights against the evils at the Arizona and DC cartels.
Wow.
This is a $20 check. This came from Sun City West.
Wow.
I mean, guys, I could go through this whole thing. These letters move me to tears.
Yeah. The real reason she's crying is no judges are buying her BS.
To tears. What's going on in our elections? And the people are the ones who are helping us. They want our case to go forward. They want
keep sending money
us to fight this because they know if we don't fight this now, we're losing our country. It's not fun. I have been offered bribes to get out of politics.
There's that story which was never verified and no details were ever provided.
We have such a huge movement. They're afraid of this movement being back on the ballot. It's true, Bram. They're afraid of this movement being back on the ballot. I've actually had someone show up at my door, pretty powerful person, offer me money to not run for office again. They don't want my name on the ballot.
They're that scared of her.
Offered me whatever I wanted to put our movement on ice for 2 years.
But what is that, Kari? Are you going to be receiving funding for this effort?
We are going to continue to take donations if people can.
It seems as though you have quite literally no more legal recourse. Are you still going to collect donations? Absolutely.
I'm not here begging for donations, guys.
That's quite literally what she's doing.
It's difficult putting food on the table right now in Joe Biden's economy. It's very difficult. So I'm not.
So let me put aside, as she says this, she puts aside, she realizes I should stop begging for donations by taking envelopes out of this box of donations I have. So she puts it to the side as she says, I'm not here begging for donations. Well, I guess not in the next 10 seconds.
I'm asking for donations. I want you to all know that. I am asking for people to get involved. Marissa's going to help. We're going to get people motivated. Excuse me, just a minute. The people who do make donations, it's going toward paying for our legal fund.
Oh, so you'll take them and you have a use for them. That's great. I want to meet the person donating to Kari Lake at this point in time. What on earth could be going through your mind, if anything, for you to, at this point, say, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to send Kari Lake money. I'm going to send her money at this point in time. I'm not here begging for donations. I'm merely talking about how great the people sending money are and reminding people we will continue accepting donations, but I'm not begging for them. Now, I guess in order to provide some cover, even ostensibly for accepting donations, Kari Lake now says she wants to take this to the Supreme Court, where even this delusional right-wing Supreme Court, I don't think is going to hear this case. Newsweek reports former Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake on Tuesday announced her intention to keep pushing her election case towards the Supreme Court after suffering a major loss in court. She made the announcement after a judge ruled that her legal team did not have sufficient evidence to prove ballot workers didn't conduct the signature matching. Her challenges were consistently dismissed in court, including Mondays, but she pledged to continue fighting. She will try to prove her argument before the Supreme Court. She often makes this vague claim: we proved our elections are a mess. We proved signature verification is a joke. She said she wasn't surprised by the judge's decision. Lake also announced a new ballot chasing initiative, which he says was the largest in Arizona. This involves reaching out to registered voters and assuring they submit the ballots on time, blah, 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 all this sort of stuff. So listen, bottom line, this is going nowhere. This is a complete and total humiliation. But at the end of the day, the only reason that these things last as long as they do, the only reason Kari Lake is still doing this stuff after 7 months is because someone is donating money to her. Let me give you a counter. Imagine a different scenario. Imagine that on November 15th or whenever it was that Kari Lake first announced that this was going to continue for so long. Imagine no one donated money to her. She wouldn't continue doing this for 7 months. The reason that this continues is that people continue to donate money. Some people, clearly people who don't understand anything. And my guess is that many of the people sending her money can't actually afford to do so, which is probably the saddest part of this entire thing. So is it finally over? Yes. And also now she's pushing for the Supreme Court. Let's hope that doesn't happen.